Hey folks, Curlychronicles here. Welcome back. Today's video is all about creating the raised garden bed and filling them up with soil. So this is me and Dana working hard at the little homestead, and we are putting the planter stones in place and then putting the wooden planks into those and just making sure that the shape is kind of what we want. Of course, it's windy and my camera fell right on over. But we kept going, and this is me now trying to line the raised garden bed with this weed barrier. It's like a blocker, and it'll keep them from sprouting up once I fill these with dirt. It's a big pain in the butt having to constantly weed, and so if you can keep that to a minimum, that's great. This does not mean that no weeds will form, but it'll definitely reduce the number of them, and I'll be able to pluck out the little weeds here and there. So I'm rolling it out, and then I'm stapling it on each side. It's kind of like a U shape, and so I staple it on one side and I staple it on the other side, and I'm just kind of making sure it's secure and that when I fill it with dirt, it won't just become destroyed and everything. So this part was a little bit more meticulous. It was a little tedious, but I tried to just have a good go at it and take my time. I feel like there's something hitting my window here. I hope it's not a wasp. Those things scare the hell out of me. But it was a good day. As you can see, I talked to myself, and I'm very animated. I don't know who I was pointing my staple gun at, but whoever it was, I apologize. And so this took a little bit of time. And so after this point, we wanted to fill it in with dirt, but one important note, I wanted to make sure I mentioned that I put a lot of sticks and larger sticks and scraps from the yard underneath this weed blocker. And it just kind of helps. It helps you not require so much soil. And so I thought that might be good because soil is expensive. I'm mixing it with the native dirt that's here. Which is very clay rich soil. So I can't use 100% of this, but I can use a great deal of it. And I think things will grow really nicely in there because the clay does help retain moisture in your soil. So that's really good. So this was a big part of the early stages of the planning. And it was cool. So really excited that I got this part done, and looking forward to making a couple of other garden beds as well. And now we're filling in the dirt. And then what I was doing was I was kind of filling in a little bit of dirt, and I was mixing a little bit of soil. I was just trying to kind of, get it all mixed together. And so I would put down a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then on top, I would do just soil. So, this is how we're looking. I have to cut a board to fit there, and I need one more planter. So we had to go back to Home Depot. Always another trip to Home Depot, but this was it. And I was going to put a greenhouse here, but you'll see I put it on the concrete anyway. But this is the first step. And the next step was sifting some soil. And I should have did this first, like you saw me filling it with dirt. I didn't sift that. It would have been better if I had, because then I would have a lot more of a soft and fluffy pile of soil that didn't have a lot of sticks and larger pieces in it, larger pieces of wood chips and things like that. So what I was doing oftentimes, you'll see me in a minute here do it, is I would take soil and then sift it into that first box you see me standing next to, and then I would dump the larger pieces into the opposite box. So it's like large sticks and stones, rocks, and wood chips and things of that nature. So here's me sifting dirt. It's dirt and soil, the same thing. Sifting soil. And just kind of making sure that I don't have all of this like super big stuff in there. I don't know why I wore like some sort of crop top with overalls. Like I didn't know that it's highly likely that something's going to sting me or bite me or make me itch. Anyway, So I did a bunch of that. I'm showing you all of the walnuts that the squirrels have dug and hidden away in different areas around here. There's a bunch of pecans and all sorts of stuff. Very interesting. But yeah, so sifting and tossing in the dirt. And then I'm also pouring in perlite, so that helps kind of increase the amount of drainage in the soil, so it's not all soggy and the roots don't rot and everything. And now that we're all done with preparing the soil, I am transplanting some potatoes. You guys remember I showed you these potatoes that were going crazy. They were growing eyes all over them. I was not trying to have that many potatoes to put in the ground, but that's kind of what happened. And so some of them I tried to eat as quickly as I could, and then others I just put them away to put them here for later. So now I am transplanting those. They are very healthy. They have these nice, beautiful white roots, and they are doing so well. I can't wait to show you in the next video the growth. But they're doing really well. And what I did was I put these sticks in front of where I put each potato because I wanted to make sure I could remember exactly where they were in case the leaves had not popped up out of the soil yet. So yeah. My potatoes have roots, so that's great. I'm glad I put them in the ground because I think they'll be fine. They're pretty hardy. So I have 3 that I am going to transfer over into this flower bed here. So I am going to put those in, water them just a little bit, just in case the rain takes a while, and they should be good to go. I also have a sweet potato that has grown a slip, but I usually just planted this whole sweet potato in the ground. I would plant the whole sweet potato in the ground and not the slips. And I grew some sweet potatoes, but if I can create more and keep them growing off of a potato, that's even better. So I am going to I'm going to see about that, and maybe once the slip that I have in the windowsill in the kitchen, maybe when it grows roots, maybe I'll put that out here. I think I got a little bit of time because they need at least 90 days, between 90 and 150 days, I think. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. I didn't know there was already potatoes growing down here, and I didn't know. Where's the camera? Let me see if I can turn y'all around. Okay, so I was digging out the old potatoes that I had put on top of these other potatoes that I thought didn't make it. And look, little tubes are growing. My hands are terrible because I've been out here gardening all day, so just don't worry about that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this back up, and we're just gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave them in here. I don't want to disturb them. They're already growing. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of soil and mulch on top of this and leave these out here with these. And I have a stick here. There's a stick here. Stick here. There's a plant there. And there's a stick here, which means there's a plant here. Up in here. These little leaves from other plants just fell in here. Those are not my plants. Yeah, my little nubbin, you can see it, is right here. So that's gonna grow up, and then we're gonna put more soil on top, and that's going to increase the amount of space that the tubes have to grow long and leggy and then produce potatoes between the bottom, part of the dirt and then the highest point of the dirt where, there's going to be lots of room for them to kind of spread out and do their thing. So looking good. I got my perlite in there. When it rains, it's going to kind of beat this into there a little bit more. So I'm just going to distribute some of the soil and then I'm done. Yay! And this thing that I made yesterday worked so well. Now you may be wondering, how did you make this? Well, let me just take a brief moment and show you a very quick clip, because the process was not that quick, but let me show you a very quick clip of how I constructed that. So that's the process. You saw the beginning, the very beginning, and the end result. For now, I'm going to be adding on, but this was a fun project. And yeah, me and Dana was out there working hard with our tools that we did that. So thanks for watching. Can't wait to show you what happens next, and stay tuned for more. See y'all next time.